Today I'm starting a new unit about data analysis and statistics. In this unit, we will learn how to find measure of central tendency and dispersion, how to apply transformations to data, how to use normal distribution, how to select and draw conclusions from samples, and how to choose the best model for two variable data. So I will cover today 11.1 and 11.2, which are find measures of central tendency and dispersion and apply transformations to data. Here are our lesson targets. I can find the mean, median, mode, range, standard deviation, and outliers of a set of data values. I can predict the effects of adding a constant or multiplying a constant to a set of data values to the above measures of central. So we are going to learn about the first part, which is mean, median, mode, and range, which are the basic of statistics. Did you know that you probably use statistics such as mean, median, mode, and range almost every day without even realizing that? Today we will learn about the mean, median, mode, range, and how to use these in everyday life as well as the classroom. To help you learn, you should have a pencil, a piece of paper, and a calculator if you need it in front of you. What do we already know? Sure, the words mean, median, mode, and range all sound confusing. But what about the words we already know, like average, middle, most frequent, and difference? They are all the same ideas. Basic operations. Let's start with the mean. The mean or average of n numbers is the sum of numbers divided by n. The mean is denoted by x bar, which is the x with the line in top of it for the data set. So it's helpful to know the mean because then you can see which numbers are above and below the mean. So hopefully it's easy to find. Mean example. Here is an example test scores for Miss Maths class. To find the mean, first you must add up all of these numbers that you have in the list, 82 plus 93 plus 86 plus 97 plus 82, and that's give you 440. Now since there are 5 test scores, we will next divide the sum by 5. So 440 divided by 5, that's give you 88. So the mean is 88. Median. The median is the middle value on the list. The first step is always to put the numbers in order for us to find the median. So, median example. First, let's examine these 5 test scores. So we have 5 test scores in front of me: 78, 93, 86, 97, 79. We need to put them in order first. So we need to sort them out, 78 to 97. So the number in the middle is 86. So as you can see, we have an odd list, 5 numbers. So if you use elimination method, if we cross out the first number and the first from the last, and then the second and the second from the last, you will end up with one number in the middle, which is 86. But sometimes we have an even list. In an even list, you will end up with 2 numbers in the middle, which is you have to add them up and divide them by 2. So in our example over here, the median is 86, which is the middle value. Another example showing an odd list. So we have 6 numbers in our list over here. So we need to put these numbers in order from 72 to 94. This time there are two numbers in the middle, 86 and 88. So now we will need to find the average of these two numbers by adding them and dividing by 2. So 86 plus 88 equal 174. And the 174 divided by 2, that give us the 87, which is our median. Let's move to the mode. The mode refers to the number that occurs the most frequently. It's easy to remember. The first two numbers are the same, mode and most frequently. Let's do an example to show the mode. Here is a list of temperatures for 1 week, from Monday to Sunday. So we have 77, we have 79, 83, and 82. So again, like the median, we need to put these numbers in order first. 77 to 83, as you can see. I sorted these numbers out. So as you can see, 77 is repeated 3 times in this list. So 77 is the most frequent number, so the mode is 77. Range. The range is the difference between the highest and lowest numbers of the series. All we have is we have to put the numbers in order and subtract the maximum value minus the minimum value. And now I will show you an example how to calculate and find the range. So remember, the range is the difference, the maximum value minus the minimum value. An example, let's look at the temperatures example as we did before. We have 77 to 83, put them in order. So the highest value that we have, or temperature, is 83, and the lowest temperature is 77. So all you need to do is subtract 83 minus 77, and that gives us 6. In this case, the range is 6. Now it's your turn to try it. So this is the stat family: Dad, Mom, Jack, Alex, and Katie. So, and their ages. So Dad is 34 years old, Mom is 33 years old, Jack is 5, Alex is 5, and Katie is 1. Now, here are the ages again, as you can see. So I need you to find me the mean. So please remember, the mean is the average. So please take a minute to find the mean. So try it in your paper and see where you come up. So I hope you tried it. Remember, to find the mean, we have to first add up all of the numbers. So the ages, 34 plus 33 plus 5 plus 5 plus 1, that give us 78. Then since there are 6 people in the family, we next divide by 6. And that gave us 15.6. Now here are the ages again as we did. Please find me the median. Take a minute, look at the median, and please try to find it in your own. So remember, to find the median, we have to first put all of the numbers in order. So put these numbers in order, and the median in this case is the middle value. So if you do the elimination method, cross out the first and the last, second and the second of the last, and you end up with the 5 in the middle. So the median in this case is 5. Try the mode now. Try to find the mode from the list. Try it in your own paper and see what you come up with. Take a minute. Remember, to find the mode, we have to first put all of the numbers in order. So we put all these numbers in order. The mode in this case is the most repeated value, which is 5. Now let's try to find the range. Please try to find me the range from this data list. Take a minute to find the range. Remember, to find the range, we have to first put all of the numbers in order, as we did. So the highest age is 34 and the lowest is 1. So now we need to subtract to find the difference. 34 minus 1 is 33, which is the range. So the range is 33. So I hope that helps. We need to move now to the second part, but at the end, please try this example at your home with your family, if you like to find the mean, median, mode, and range. That would be helpful. And here are some websites if you want to practice to find the mean, median, mode, and range. So they are very useful. If you want to go and visit, you can copy them down. Now let's move the second part in our lesson, which is finding the standard deviation. So we need to know the equation of the standard deviation in order to find it. So steps to find standard deviation. So find the mean of the set of data, x bar, which is the average. Then find the difference between each value and the mean, value minus average. Then square the difference, value minus average squared. Then find the average mean of these squares. And the last step, take the square root to find the standard deviation. So it's square root by finding the average mean of these squares, and then you take the square root to find the standard deviation. So n is the number of entries or the number of values in the list. So let's do an example together. Find the mean and standard deviation for the values 78.2, 90.5, 98.1, 93.7, and 94.5. So they are all decimals. They have decimals. So first, what we need to do is to find the mean. So we add all these values up and we divide them by 5. That is equal to 91. And this is our table method, as I showed you, step by step, so we can organize the steps in a table. So first we have the values, then the second column is the average, then the third column is value minus average, then the last column is value minus average squared. Okay? Then we need to find the standard deviation. So we take the sum of the value minus average squared, and we square root the sum over how many values we have, which is 5, and approximately it's 6.8. The mean is 91 and the standard deviation is 6.8. So in order to do and find the measures of center and dispersion in the graphing calculator, first what you need to do is turn on your calculator, go to stats, then you hit number 1, edit, then you will enter your data set values under L1 column. You put all these values and then you click on second quit. You get off from that page, then you go to stat again, then you go to the second column, which is calc, then you click on number 1, which is 1 vars, and you hit enter 2 times, and you will see your mean, median, mode, mean, median, max, min, standard deviation values in your calculator. And in order to find the mode, you can go to calc from your calculator. If you go to stats, then calc again, or you can just click on stats and you click on sort A and you enter L1 and you click enter, and you will sort and put your values in order. So if you go back again to your stat edit, then L1 values, you will see all the numbers in order, and you can find the mode easy. And in class I will show you one example how to do and find measures of center and dispersion by using the graphing calculator. So now I need you to try without using the calculator to find the mean and standard deviation for the values 9, 4, 5, and 6. So take a couple minutes, try it in your own, and I'll be back. So we need to find the mean and standard deviation for the values 9, 4, 5, and 6. I forgot to tell you that lower sigma, as you can see the little circle with the hat on it, it's standard deviation, and the X bar is the mean. So remember the difference for these symbols. So the lowercase sigma is standard deviation and the X bar is the mean. So now let's go back to our example. So to find the mean, we add these values up and we divide them by how many values they are in the list, which is 4, and we get 6. And then we use our table method, which is value, average, value minus average, and value minus average squared, and we fill out our the blanks boxes. Then we find the sum, and after that we do square root of the sum over the how many values in the list, which is n, to find the standard deviation. So the mean in this case is 6 and the sum is 14, so square root of 14 divided by 4, that gives us 1.87. I hope that helps, as you can see. So use the data to find the mean and standard deviation for energy demands on the weekends only. This is the steps that you can use to find the standard deviation by using the graphing calculator. You have to use the stat feature to enter the data as L1. Use the calc menu of the stat to access one var stats option. And your screen should look like that with X bar and the standard deviation and n equal 8. And it shows the mean and the standard deviation. Now let's move to the third part of our presentation, which is the last part, which is about 11.2, the second lesson, which is apply transformations to data. So this is section 2, and it's about adding a constant to data values. So when a constant is added to every value in a data set, the following are true. The mean, median, and mode of the new data set can be obtained by adding the same constant to the mean, median, and mode of the original data set. The range and the standard deviation are unchanged. So the range and standard deviation, which are the measures of dispersion, will be unchanged. So astronauts example, the data set below gives the weights in pounds on Earth of 8 astronauts without their spacesuits. A spacesuit weighs 250 pounds on Earth. Find the mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation of the weights of the astronauts without their spacesuits and with their spacesuits. So we have these data values, we have this data set of numbers. Copy these numbers down, and we need to find the mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation. If you use your calculator to find these values by using 1 vars, it's easy to find. Then after you find your mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation values, as you can see, what we have to do, we have to add the 250, which is our constant. So adding a constant to the mean, median, mode will change the values, but the values of the range and standard deviation will be unchanged. So measures of center will change if we add a constant, but measures of dispersion will not change if we add a constant. So we add the 250 to the mean, the median, the mode values, and that's going to change the values, but the range and standard deviation will not change because we are not adding a constant to them, because the values in the lists, if we add a constant, will keep the out range the same. So it's going to be the same range, the same standard deviation after if we add 250 to each data value. So please remember, mean, median, mode will change if we add a constant. Range and standard deviation will not change if we add a constant. Multiplying data values by a constant. When each value of a data set is multiplied by a constant, the new mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation can be found by multiplying each original statistic by the same constant. So the data below gives the winning distances in meters. In this example, it's the Olympics example. So find the mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation of the distances in meters, of the distance in feet. So we need to find it in meters, then in feet. So we need to find the mean, median, mode, range, and standard deviation, then multiply each value by 3.28. So as you can see in this table, if you use your calculator to find the mean, median, mode, and range, and standard deviation, and then the point is, if we multiply a constant by these all the values will change. So multiplying a constant will change all the values, measures of center and dispersion. So it's different than adding a constant, which is when we added a constant, we only changed the mean, median, mode. And in this case, now if we multiply a constant by these values, we change all the values. I hope this helps, and thank you. By the way, this is your assessment that you have to do. So you have to do 11.1, page 747, problems 4, 6, 14, 16, 18, and section 11.2, page 753, problems 6, 8, 12, 14, 18. And the lesson targets, as we had today, we learned how to find the mean, median, mode, range, standard deviation. And we learned how, if we add a constant to measures to our data set values, that will change the mean, median, mode, and that will not change the range and standard deviation. But if we multiply a constant by these values, it will change all the values in the list. Thank you.